Hi everyone, it's Adrienne Leah. This is another setup. Hopefully it's okay. I found a place where there's a little lighting. So I don't really have too much of uh, an introduction for the reading with channeled messages. I might talk a little bit about other things, but the the cards that I got before doing this reading are from the Archangel Oracle, and it's the Angel Therapy, Archangel Raphael. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. And then the card at the bottom is sorry. Take your power back, Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. This one. So I'm currently at my godmother's, and I've been winding down, relaxing, since I am going to drop by the pharmacy while I'm getting my car cleaned and detailed, since the storage unit is in that area too. So that's just going to be for a little bit. Um, but I haven't been doing much of other things. Again, it hasn't been long since I've been here. So I did sleep the day away yesterday. I slept for a good amount of time today, and I've been getting some knitting done. I just wanted to say that the last day of work, it was a little different. It was like noticeably different because around this time of the year, it's not as busy because people are like on vacation, and it's a little different like if you're it's an area of the year where there's a little sliver for vacation time, like the winter time, and that's when it gets really busy because people want to take their medication with them. And in the summertime, they're just away for a good portion of summer. So when I was there on the last day, I wouldn't say it was like busy in that way, but for the first time in the years that I've worked there, there was like a giant bug. And later the owner came in later that day, and I had like the door closed off to the lab because usually um it depends like who's working and if there's backup, or if it's not busy, then you can go into the lab. And there was also not many things to do that at the time in that area, but there's always something to do. So there was like a big bug, and the owner and I were like trying to figure out like if it was a wasp or anything because it was like pretty substantial. And then the other pharmacist was like, no, no, it's this bug. I would recognize that. Um, it's something that I would see in Vermont a lot. And I felt bad because Um, I just wanted to set it free, but I wasn't getting close enough to the bug to like set it free. And I don't mind that many bugs. But the ones that like just fly at you, I'm like, I I get I don't really go too close to them if I don't know what it is. So the pharmacist spent some time trying to get the bug, and of course that it was a joke because the owner was like, "You wanna set it free, but you're not gonna go near it." I'm like, "Of course, I'm a pacifist." So I um, other than that, I enjoyed the day. There was not much to do for me. Um, but since I've been here, I mentioned in other videos on my personal channel, because I used to do more tarot reading videos. I'm not saying I don't like doing them, but I I wouldn't say I graduated from those at all. I would say that the tarot readers that I am friends with, we, I guess the OG team has been dismantled in a way because sometimes we're here and there. I think I've been posting a lot more lately. Just been, we have just been living our life doing things. And OG is original gangster, and it's like the the ride or die team, like the homies that have been there since day one. So I I do still talk to them to this day. So maybe I'll get more into doing other tarot reading videos, but it's been nice just doing whatever and the right moments and um, things come along with that. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, and I have shown this in another video. This isn't a knitting video, it's gonna be a reading, but of course I'm gonna talk. So I finished the flower portion. The original garment that was made by the designer had multiple colors. I'm using two colors, yellow and blue. So right now I'm on an increase round with the blue. And I have these other needles that I got the other day because might as well try them. They were only like $22. Well, my other needles are a lot more expensive than that. Not saying that one's better than the other, whatever you like, but I feel like it'd be nice to, see the needles that I am comfortable with and that I like knitting with. I feel like it's a couple things when you're knitting and the way that you knit. So I I have been enjoying this and I love this yellow, but I'll talk about it in another video because it's not a knitting video. It's not a knitting video, but the deck bags are here too. So I don't have the extra space for putting my cards in another area, so I'm just gonna put it on top of the laptop. Sometimes I accidentally end the video early because I press something, but it's okay. It definitely feels like a change in season because if it gets slightly cooler, it's not a change in season. It's a little ways away for the next season, but I feel like the senses just um, start to tingle because you're starting to feel the weather cool down. And it does feel like it's a preparation time. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands, and the other card that came out, I would say reverse Page of Wands. It was kind of like it just popped out. This might feel like scattered energy. So there might be a moment where it'll feel like one moment it's not busy and then the next moment it's like go time. And there has been a lot of influxes of energy. And from that, like, it's in your environment or externally, there can be like a energy of just chaos or frustration. There's something that is, you know, it's not rejecting. What do you call that? There's like resistance to the energy. This could also be pushing forward too. Could even be frustration with the Wheel of Fortune. Because the Wheel of Fortune I mean, sometimes it is represented in decks as like a type of lottery card. And you could take it for what it is, because some might disagree with that. Regardless, it is one of those things that it like is subjective in that way. But then there's the traditional meaning that goes with it. Um, I would say it connects to the traditional meaning. And you have in the future the Four of Cups. So I feel like a part of it is time management that goes with the Four of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Because it for me it kind of looks like, well, a spinning wheel can go both ways too. In whether you're trying to spin the fiber and then ply the fibers together, it also looks like a ship wheel. So kind of like twists and turns. It's not a direct route to something. But the good thing about this moment, and even with the Wheel of Fortune, with the Four of Cups, even when you think that you gotta over prepare, which is not bad in this case, because I feel like it, since it's a major arcana card, it's something substantial. It's having the means to do it, and that can be in different areas of your life. Of course, this is the Nine of Pentacles. It could be things that are more tangible. It could be linked to finances. And with the Page of Wands, it's kind of doing the time management, doing that little dance, and trying to not lose hope with things. To keep the momentum going. Then you have the Page of Cups. You have two pages here. And that could be the resistance, because cups is water and wands in most decks, sometimes it's flipped, is fire. It kind of feels like energy of doing things early on. For some reason, this felt kind of like significant, because there's energy of doing things even though the moment hasn't presented itself, but once the moment presents itself, it's like you'll need to do it or need to have those means as soon as it's like announced to you. There seems to be something, so I didn't see the pentacles in that way, but there's the Nine of Pentacles. Knowledge and experience with that too. So I remember when I was in middle school, I took the standardized testing for middle school, and for my English portion, I scored a high enough score to where I got sent to take the high school standardized testing. again for the English portion. So there's just something that like it's like a catapulting energy that I feel a lot in my life. And I wouldn't be surprised with the um, current events of how that could affect you in that way too. It it wouldn't be a bad thing to be accustomed to when those things happen to make sure to have a level mind. And even with your cards, it's outdoors, Archangel Jopiel. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. And remember who you are. Archangel Michael, you are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You're very loved. There is a sense of like keeping the momentum. And depending on what path you follow, even like religion or spirituality, it's good to keep that faith going. I know with Archangel Michael, there is a connection with the, is it coat of arms or emblem? I hope that if you, like you could make that connection because I might be saying it incorrectly. So that archangel prayer that I mentioned many moons ago might be useful. And if you don't remember, the angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side, to light, to guard, to rule, to guide. So remember when you say these things, and again, it doesn't need to be that specifically, it could be anything that makes you feel connected and grounded. To say it with such confidence that in the midst of chaos, you could still say it and it's not going to be like you not being able to say it, I suppose. Like, I don't want to say like getting choked up, but maybe getting choked up. Um, if you get like nervous or there's just a strength and to be confident when you say it. Like you don't just say it just to say it, like you have to mean it. And that could be with a lot of things in life. With the types of conversations, the type of life that you live, it's living with intention. So with going outside, I would say that make every day like a day to look forward to. And I know coming from me, that might not be like Adrian, you could do whatever you want. And like, that is true. But if possible, and I feel that it is possible to find um, those things that really mean a lot to you enough for you to focus on it and to keep going. It's like when life or maybe somebody or something just puts something in your face just to say, look, this is something that you're not going to have. And you just think, okay, well, if it's not something that's meant to be mine, I'm going to refocus myself. And the thing or the things that or person or what have you, that mean something to you, there is just such a focus and being able to strive to make it the best that it can be. So, a little bit of heavy energy with the Moon card and the Four of Cups. Both are really watery. So, the Moon card is here. It's in the overall energy. The obstacle is the Magician. It's not the card that you necessarily want to have in that position, but it can also mean that not all the resources or not everything has come into fruition yet. So you have the Knight of Swords. And so there can be an accustomed energy too, and maybe like in a way practice until there's some type of level of comfort there, or me growing up in that area because it's winter in this card. And with experience, there's a sense of feeling the moment out too. That, like, with the Temperance card that popped out, it feels like it's saying that this is just right, or like the water is just right because there's water in the card. I think this is good too because there's the Eight of Swords, and it it looks like the swords are missing. Like they may have wounded a little bit, but it hasn't gotten anybody. Um, it isn't uh, fatal in some ways. And knowing how to get past things, and as I said, getting past things when things don't go according to plan. Temperance also linking to Sagittarius, the Archer, the one linked to the horse, um, maybe like cavalry that way, or something that makes it feel like in the midst of chaos, this is like my zone in a way. And if it's not your zone, it's still, you worked your way up to that to be able to maybe breathe underwater for a longer period of time because you've practiced. I know that's like kind of a minuscule type of example, but hopefully those examples are making sense. Seven of Pentacles also comes up too, and that I feel like it links to the Temperance card too, because the Seven of Pentacles, it is trying to get something right. And even when doing something in the lab, one of the things that is one of the compounds that you'll have to work at to understand how to get it right is like a troche, and the base of that is the polyglycol troche, and then you can have the active ingredient. It would have like silica gel. Silica gel is drying and binding. It's important to mix it well with your active ingredient, otherwise it's going to look like cottage cheese. Or not call it cottage cheese, sorry, holes like the cheese that have holes in them. And the main thing with the troche or the crystal is you're trying to melt it, and it takes time. You want it high enough to melt at a decent rate if you're not necessarily timed, but to get it finished at least when you need it to be finished. And have it low enough and cool enough for it to pour. Because you notice the difference when you pour it too hot, and it, I would say around like 65 degrees is an ideal temperature to pour that. And you also don't want it too high either. In the beginning, you're not going to want to add the active ingredient right away. You don't really need to because it needs to melt, or it needs to like mix into the melted polyglycol troche. And even that, you would want to sift it in to make sure it's distributed as um, evenly and distributed um, as it's mixing, because you use a spinner to mix it. In the meantime, another preparation is prepping your molds and having something. I mean, I'm not sure if this is for every pharmacy, but that does these compounds, but to spray the molds with something that's non-stick. And so then you could flip the molds over, and whenever you get the downtime to, and before you're pouring the liquid in, you'll go through the crevices or the molds and dry them out, because you don't want like everything just to fall out when the patient is trying to take out the medication. So, and then after that can solidify. It's easier to shape it when it's dry. It doesn't need to be mega dry, but it needs to be dry to a point where you can remelt it and then shape it to make it look neater, and to also have the troches to pop out as neatly as they can. Those would be the main things. Um, it's also working it quickly too, at least when you're initially pouring it, because it's something that dries easily. Anyway, sorry, I don't know if I should change the positions. But the Other cards, the Empress and the Eight of Wands. 1 second. So I'll go through the other cards and I will end the video. So with the Empress card and the Eight of Wands, there might be a speediness to do something too. Again, it might feel like downtime. It might be good to have some preparations completed because once it's ready, it's ready. In the card, the Empress is embroidering, and there's different techniques, different ways of making like the images. Um, and with time comes with speed, and experience comes with speed. I, I just remembered another example. Like if you're trying to make like a famotidine suspension, there are a couple of steps that you do, and that is going to be timely as well. Um, because it's timely, I guess the more that you do it too, it's not like a difficult compound, but once you're finished having the reaction of the omeprazole pellets that come from the omeprazole capsules, so you're going to open them, you're going to make it into a different form, so suspension would be liquid. One of the first things you're going to do is make a sodium bicarbonate solution. So I, at least from my experience, it would be just the sodium bicarbonate with purified water and let it dissolve. You're going to need that. It's going to be the base. And then you'll weigh out your stevia because that's going to coat the pellets. So you'll open up these capsules, and once you open up all the capsules, it could be making it into a different strength too. That's a lot of what compounding is, making a medication in a strength that's not available on the market. So after you have the stevia with the omeprazole, you're going to start to begin the reaction of wetting the omeprazole and the stevia with the sodium bicarbonate solution, because after time, like this is one that you need to take time with. Otherwise, if you do it and you try to force it, I think you're just going to make it more difficult for yourself. So to maybe make it one of the first compounds that you do and one of the last compounds that you do, depending on how many you have in that shift. But after a while, it'll start to make the pellets become softer, where you're going to use the mortar and pestle. You're going to put the omeprazole and stevia in the solution in a mortar. Then after a period of time, check on it. You shouldn't have a difficult time mixing and making the ingredients into a paste. It's not going to be a struggle. If it's a struggle, then maybe you can like wait longer because it should be soft enough to do that. Then you can try to clean it up, because if there's going to be some of the coating, you can use a sifter to try to um, take out the things that might just be really um, make it not as a good consistency for your suspension, and QS filling it to the point that you need it. Could be 60 milliliters. 1 ounce is 30 milliliters, so 60 milliliters is 2 ounces that would be refrigerated. So I'll pull out a couple more cards. Well, the Two of Pentacles is how to overcome the obstacle. So this really comes into managing. This could also be like part-time jobs or like doing things at a period of time, another doing another thing later that day if you can multitask. But it seems like multiple things have to get done and at a time frame. And with the Four of Cups, it might be like coming out of nowhere, even though, like, because it feels like it's waiting for so long, and then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. I think the preparations would definitely benefit you, even when it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. In the past, it's the Nine of Cups with the Three of Coins. Three of Pentacles, Three of Coins. Over time, it looks like because this is in the past and the Three of Pentacles, a lot of times it's represented with multiple people on the card, so that could be like teamwork. But the obstacle is kind of taking off those training wheels because it seems like there's more and more responsibility on you to do things. And it might be not knowing where to start or not feeling as motivated since you feel like you've been waiting for a while and it hasn't come to fruition at those times. I'm gonna get some cards from the Universal Folk Tarot and then I think I'll finish the video just because I keep moving. And I feel like this is affecting the mindset because the Six of Swords is here. Because the Six of Swords just wants to get past the bullshit and just everything in between, and been going through this for so long that um, just like how long is it going to take? For some reason I was getting like the reverse justice. And with the Magician, I feel like it's trying to balance out those scales that are on the Justice card. And again, the Queen of Wands pops up in this deck too. Because with the Six of Swords, I feel like the Queen of Wands needs to remember like the fire. It's it's a lot more potent. Sometimes you have to put some wood into the fire to manage it. And then the last card is the Nine of Pentacles again. So the Nine of Pentacles, it is really an encouragement that the things that you have, the things that you know, the things that you do are valuable, and to not lose sight of that. So to keep trucking along, and the management will definitely be of a benefit to you, so you don't have to do everything really last minute. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.